Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Consistency Killed the Fat. My name is Martina and I lost 100 pounds in 12 months. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the truth about cravings. Okay, so cravings are something that people talk about a lot in terms of like, oh, what can I do to help this craving? What can I do to help that craving? But the truth is, the main thing that you can do to help cravings is decide and make a choice. So every single day that we wake up, we can either decide to do the things that are going to help us move forward or do the things that are going to help us move backwards. So when you see people who have lost a lot of weight and kept that weight off, what they have done is almost automated their choices so that cravings don't have as much room. So a lot of the time when you wake up and you don't have a plan, you leave quite a lot of room for cravings to like make suggestions. So cravings are just suggestions from your brain. They're like habits that you've done for a long time, so your brain just suggests it. It's kind of like, I don't know, you know, sometimes if you use something all the time, it will kind of like suggest similar things because it knows your behaviors. So your brain knows your behaviors. It knows kind of like the shit you like. So it's like, okay, well, this bitch liked biscuits yesterday, so let me just make this suggestion to her today. So it's like, ooh, biscuits. And if you don't have a plan, or if you're living your life on autopilot, so you're not making yourself aware of your choices, you'll just pick that option because it's like that's the option you picked yesterday and it's the option that's being suggested to you and you don't have another option. Do you see what I mean? So cravings are something that you really have to become aware of and just choose a different option. But they don't go away because I mean, some foods are addictive and some foods are just more easy to overeat than others, but I really feel like it doesn't go away because you're always going to have the option. Like every single day I wake up, I have the option to binge and overeat because I live in the Western world. I live in a country with a surplus of food. I have that privilege. I have the privilege of having too much food in where I live. So every single day I can choose that option. So the thing about cravings is it's more just like choices. Cravings should be replaced with the word choices. It's just your choices, and you can choose even to eat your cravings, but just in a different way. So I think the truth about cravings is it's just choices and it's never going to go away. Choices aren't going to go away unless we somehow go into, you know, some sort of famine or whatever. Like I'm always going to have that choice. I always need to make the one that closely aligns to the bitch that I'm trying to be, which is a bad one. So you know the ones that I make for the most part. And yeah, I just really feel like people need to maybe take away some of the, not morality, but like some of the like feeling bad about it. Like you're probably making the choice to give in to your cravings because that's what you've done before. It's more of a habit. You're just in this habit of putting it on repeat. It's like when I was really deep into my binge eating and overeating, a lot of the local fast food restaurants, they knew my order. They were like, bitch, don't even worry about it. I know what you want. It was just, I did it all the time. It was a habit. It was a choice that I kept making over and over again to the point that that choice felt like easy. It felt like the easiest option. It was the road most traveled. So sometimes in order to counteract cravings, you have to take the road least traveled. Cravings are just options that you can either choose or not choose. You need to get yourself out of autopilot to really overcome them, but it doesn't ever go away. They're always going to be an option. What's really helped me with cravings or choices, as we're going to say moving forwards, is making it easier for me to do the things that get me to where I want to go. So making the choices that get me to where I want to go, and making it harder to do the things that don't necessarily get me to where I want to go, or just like aren't for my highest good. So for example, I love chocolate and I love cupcakes. And if I had chocolate and cupcakes in my house, those would be the only things that I'd probably eat. So I don't keep them in my house. I allow myself to have those things, but I have them outside of the house. So if I want a cupcake, really want a cupcake, then I will go to Lola's, which is a cupcake place in the UK, and I will get one little mini cupcake and I'll really enjoy it and it'll be great and fantastic, and that will be the end of it. Whereas if I had a 4-pack of those, I'd probably eat all of them. Do you see what I mean? So you have to kind of set yourself up to make the right choices as well, because it's always going to be like, I don't know, like especially with foods like sugar and just the processed foods, they are kind of designed for you to overeat on them. They're designed for you to crave them. So you kind of have to be just a bit more mindful. Like we also have to be logical and rational and reasonable when it comes to food, and just know that some foods are more difficult to eat moderately than others and act accordingly. And you don't have to necessarily cut them all out, because that might not be the best way for you to get to where you want to go in a joyous and free and easy and happy way. So don't cut them all out, but at the same time, don't bring them in your bloody house. It's a bit like, I don't know, like if you lived in a club, like it would just be too much. You know what I mean? It'd be overwhelming. Going clubbing like once in a while, like, oh, it's really fun. But if you lived in the club, like, ugh, it's just too much. And it's the same with these foods. And also there's this thing that I feel people have in their mind, or at least I had that in my mind, which was like more is more. So this idea of like, well, the more I have, the more pleasure that I have. Like if something is pleasurable, then more of it must be better. And it's not true. So when you're having these cravings for huge amounts of whatever types of food, just know that like a small amount can suffice. Like when I have like a tiny little cupcake, in my mind, in my old life, my past life, I would have been like, oh my god, why would I just get one cupcake? If I get 3, then I can have like all of the flavors that I want and I'll enjoy them even more. But I never experienced it like that. When I would have 3 cupcakes, I would just feel 3 times as sick, and it would be too much, and I wouldn't really enjoy any which one of them because I just feel overwhelmed by them. So it's just kind of like, it was weird, and I keep saying this and I keep seeing it in myself and in other people. Binge eating and overeating is not actually pleasurable. It's not enjoyable. You don't get to enjoy the food. Like most of the time you eat it really quickly because you feel so bad, and then the rest of the time you're just so full because you haven't allowed yourself to get hungry for the meal probably, that you don't really get to enjoy it. Like there's no pleasure, there's no time, everything is rushed. So yeah, cravings are just something that you really need to see as just a choice. And the choice doesn't have to be black and white. The choice can just be like, yes, I'm going to have a burger and chips, but I'm not going to have a burger and chips and then an ice cream sundae if that doesn't fit into my calories. If it fits into your calories, then knock yourself out. But if it doesn't, then you're not. Maybe you'll have a burger and chips and a small portion of mango, because nobody ever died from eating fruit for dessert. Do you know what I mean? I mean, maybe someone did, but but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, make there be a balance and don't be so black and white about it. And also just remember that you have control over your body. Like you're making the choices in your life, you're making the decisions. Food is inanimate, like it's not jumping into your mouth. So someone said that to me once, I didn't force the food into your mouth. And it's true. Nobody, well, unless somebody's holding you down and forcing food into your mouth, nobody's forcing food into your mouth. You are making these decisions. And a lot of the time what we do is we kind of outsource the blame for why we're eating things. Oh, I'm really stressed. Oh, this person pissed me off. Oh, my boyfriend, oh, my husband, oh, my wife, oh, this person, that person. It's like, no matter what anybody else does, probably the biggest thing that you're in control of is what you put in your mouth. Like that, we are completely in control of that. If you live in a Western country, if you're, blessed enough to have time to sit on YouTube and watch me talking, you have authority over what you eat. And so take hold of it, take responsibility for that, and make the choices that are going to move you forward. And also fully equip yourself to deal with cravings. Just know that they're just options, they're just choices every single day, and you can choose the ones that best suit you. So yeah, the number one truth about cravings is they don't go away, because we're always going to have choices. We're always going to have an abundance of food. We're always going to have an abundance of options available to us. So take the options and make the choices that really are going to push you forwards, because you deserve it, because you're worth it, bitch. Like, I spent so much time in self-hatred, and I didn't realize that my self-hatred was manifesting in giving myself all I could eat. It's like an all-you-could-eat buffet, but you can never leave. Isn't that torture? Isn't that torturous? Like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but you can never leave. You can never eat in any other way. You have to eat as if you're at, how people get when they're at buffets. I mean, I know how I get. Like, I went to Vegas, and there's loads of famous buffets there, and I went to one, and I felt like there was this weird energy where like people were just like so like rushed, because it was a really expensive buffet. I think it was like $100. So people were like rushing and eating like all of the high value items, so like the seafood and things like that. And I was like, I don't actually like that. Like, I don't want to eat cold crab legs. Like, this doesn't appeal to me. So like, I don't know, that feeling is like, that's the feeling of being an overeater. It's like that anxiousness of like trying to get something out of every single drop of like every single moment, is like this thing of like, it's not enough, and that's not pleasurable. So this idea of like something overwhelming you, or some anxious rushed feeling being underneath all of the food choices that you make is just not vibes. It's not fun, it's not pleasurable, and you can choose something different. You can choose to go, okay, cool, I have a craving for chocolate. How can I make that fit? How can I make that work for the life that I'm building for myself? So my past self might have gone, oh, I want chocolate, so I'm gonna buy 3 different chocolate bars, or I'm gonna buy a massive family pack of chocolate and eat it all to myself and then feel sick. No. And then this other part of you might go, well, no, I can never have it again. Also probably not that realistic. So why don't you take a third, middle of the road, Middle Earth, Middle England type, thing, and just be like, okay, so maybe what I can do is buy 1 chocolate bar, my favorite fucking one, and eat half. You won't die, I promise. I've done it a good few times now. I've had half a chocolate bar and it's just the same. I've had 1 Kinder Bueno thing and it's just as delicious as having 4. It works. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you deal with cravings. Let me know if you enjoy my videos. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I don't know what you're doing. Comment, like, and subscribe, guys, because I'm going to be making even more content. My goal is to help people to free themselves, release themselves from the shackles of binge eating, because it's the fucking ghetto. We don't like it there. We don't want to be there. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's not vibes. So yeah. Get with the motherfucking program, get with the winning team, subscribe to my channel, ask me questions, give me your thoughts down below. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.